has different. I thought it was silver.
No, like the whole banner. You know how they do like
Super
Bowl,
got it. Yep,
Super
I got you.
Bowl,
Okay.
Arizona,
Yep, the banner. Okay.
And on the trophy, well, like online, the picture of them. Maybe someone did that to create a conspiracy, because that'd be pretty easy to edit. But Aaron Rodgers was saying, if you look at the marketing for the Super Bowl, 2022, you'll see that there's green on the. It's like a wavy pattern. You have green on the top and red on the bottom.
Oh.
Like for the Eagles, Chiefs.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so what's it this year? Like, is it already? Does the banner
San
out?
Francisco, Baltimore is what the colors are closest to, and they're both doing great.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
It's kind of nice that I saw this be exposed towards the end of the season, because like, what if a podcaster, Aaron Rodgers, came out with this? Or someone released this conspiracy at the beginning of the season, then they'd be like, "Oh crap, they're onto us. We got to switch it up." No, I just like to. What's the word? Conspiracize? Conspire? No. To theorize conspiracies and go down holes, and what's that called?
I just call it a thought exercise.
Yeah, yeah. I should do more of those. What other best deals? I wrote down. Oh yeah, at the concert, I was the manifesting. I was going nuts.
Even on the way.
Even on the way there, I had said this would be the perfect street for Candy Cane Lane, like Christmas lights, and because it was kind of dark, but there was lots of cool like Bavarian look houses on the rocks. Yeah. And then we turned the corner and there was all the lights, Christmas lights, and that was one of them. And then another one was in a song. I thought I was hearing Lil Jon say "what" like in a mix. Yeah. And it'd be like in the background of the song. So, and I was like, "Is that Lil Jon?" And you're like, "What?" It's like, "Is that Lil Jon?" But it's too loud. We couldn't talk. And then later in that song there was Lil Jon. Yeah. Or like maybe it was the next song.
It was the next, yeah.
But it was like a remix of his song. And then the Little Stuffed Animal people. Those were awesome. I like them. And what else? Oh yeah, I said like I miss Mike, one of our Rave fam guys. Because he always had that fan, and it was a perfect beat for that fan.
The fan, yeah.
And then, like
the fan
2 minutes later, that fan flap. Yeah, it was someone else, but it was crazy. I was on fire that night. That kind of goes right into our learnings.
Yeah.
What was your learning this last week or weeks?
So I showed you the sacred journey of the peaceful warrior, or the way of the peaceful warrior, is that Dan Millman book, and then they made it into the movie. So I thought that the movie was right on point with the way that the story is told, but the biggest learning in that book and even in the movie is just the mindfulness state of flow that is called satori. So having a clear mind, sometimes athletes or musicians or artists will say they're in a state of flow where it's timelessness and they can't think of anything other than what they're doing at that moment. So they're lost in the moment, and they perform really, really well. So being able to put yourself into that moment of satori, putting yourself in that moment of flow, and then you surprise yourself, at what you can do, and then you are enjoying it. It doesn't, time doesn't seem like it moves at all, but usually a lot of time passes, through that state.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Yeah, that was an awesome movie. The Peaceful Warrior. Yeah, I watched it with you.
Mm.
And the way they did satori, or this Socrates man was kind of teaching a younger college student, kind of like a guru or a sensei in the modern day.
Yeah.
And Socrates was telling him to, just do things like clean the bathroom, and it's almost the wax on, wax off stuff, but that stuff was actually for your hand movements. But satori's a little different, in where you get into that meditative zone, and you can clean toilets for the rest of your life, for hours, right? Because you get into that state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that part of the movie, because I had to get into the satori flow when we were skiing. I remember.
That's a good. Yep.
What you want to do is, if you are like cruising,
Yeah.
like a skier, like I want to cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to be going fast.
Yeah.
You kind of carve these wide carves, and you kind of don't look at the feet. I kind of stare straight off, and then you kind of see the mountain in your peripherals. So I like that satori state of flow in like sports, or in hard work, or in just a quiet room, whatever.
Yeah, you just get into a rhythm. Yeah, especially with skiing. Then when you're connecting all the turns, then it just flows.
It's a great, yeah. What'd you think of this? Not a lot of snowpack this year yet, but
yeah,
it's fun.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, the weather. Yeah, weather's good. You just gotta dodge some of the rocks right now, but yeah, just getting outside and just taking deep breaths in the cold weather.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts.
Right up. Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of the Dan Millman book, The Peaceful Warrior, or A Peaceful Warrior, was when he was in the rafters, and he's kind of in the rafters in his mind with his guru, and he sees a whole gymnasium from like a bird's eye view. And he actually sees himself in the gymnasium, reacting with people, or interacting with everyone, and that viewpoint is just it's interesting.
Because he can,
like, I've felt that before. Like, you have to see yourself in the situation, with all these people. So, I mean, that's a great learning.
And then in the book, and then it's depicted really well in the movie, is his sense for the other thoughts and feelings of the people that he's interacting with, or that are even just on their own. Like, he can sense the thoughts and feelings of somebody that's working on, one particular movement in the gym, and how that self-talk is coming through that person. But in that scene, he was able to listen to it. And then in a way, like you said, you can kind of tell where someone's at emotionally and mentally by the way they interact, and if there's something weighing on their mind, or if they're seem light. You can sense that a little bit. But in the movie, it was just straight. Like, he could just hear the thoughts. He could hear the words that they were saying in their own inner dialogue. So that was pretty impactful. But you can do it now. Like, you can even do it in real life. You kind of just zoom out and you see yourself in a situation, and then you see the interaction between other people.
Yeah. That's one of our steps in the detachment theory, is along with a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was really disappointed in the reviews of the movie. It didn't get, like, at the time, what was it, like the early 2000s?
Yeah, I think it was in 2006, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. The reviews were like a bunch of fortune cookie statements in the movie and blah, blah, blah. And it's interesting that, like, Yeah, it's like a deeper. If you want to, what's the word for better yourself? Not dharma. But
self-improve.
Yeah. Yeah, and like there's these principles, and they're hard to get across in a movie form.
Yeah.
And so
the critics just dismissed it all.
Yeah. They were, but I think they're ignorant. Is what my point was. I think the reviews were ignorant.
Yeah, because the audience liked it.
Yeah.
So that on the Rotten Tomatoes, like the audience was like cheering it on, but all the critics were splatting the tomatoes.
Yeah. Shout out to Dan Millman.
Yeah.
That guy's still around here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he lives in Northern California.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's cool.
Should probably go see him.
Yeah, yeah. We should probably say what's up. Well, we've been talking for way too long, but welcome back.
Yeah, glad to be back.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah.
Namaste.
Namaste.